Hello students, I'm Himani Sharma, your UGC NET Paper 1 educator. In this new YouTube video for the last day program, last lab program that we have for you, here we are going to do certain important concepts which again are related to the higher education field, because I will be dealing with research, ICT and higher education, right? So if in the previous videos, in the last lab program, you must have seen that yes, there were certain things, there were certain videos which were dedicated entirely for the PYQs and the concepts which are important from the examination perspective for research aptitude, and so is the case with ICT and higher education. So I'm done with research and ICT. If you want to, you can go down to the UGC playlist that we have in the Drishti IAS English platform, and you can watch these very videos, right, to know what we have done when it comes with regards to this last lab program, along with the usage of PYQs, for us all to understand the basic concepts which are related. Correct? And not only understand, by understanding I mean that the last minute revision also gets covered even if you are watching these videos and you're at your comfort time and your comfort zone. So without wasting any further time, let's just start with what we have to do in today's class. The first question that I have for you is MOE, Government of India scheme, ARIIA, stands for what? So basically, this is a really important thing when it even comes to ICT research or the higher education part, that you all know the abbreviations carefully, right? So pause your screens and try to find out the answer. The answer to this question is option A, that is Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievements. So if you will be knowing the abbreviation in its entirety, right, you will be able to guess the answer correctly. The answer, as the explanation that we have here, is to ensure that innovation is the primary fulcrum of all the higher educational institutions. The MOE, Government of India, is introducing the Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievements to systematically rank education institutions and university primarily on innovation related indicators. So yes, every year, different kinds of ranking are introduced by the Atal Ranking scheme, and it ranks the institutions based on how innovative in the field of education and research the institution has been. The next question that we have here is, in ancient India, the eligibility criterion in respect of age for students seeking admission to Taxila University was set at what age? The answer to this question is of option D, that is 16 years. That it means that you need to be 16 years of age if you want to get enrolled, right? If you want to be eligible for taking part or being admitted to a college or a university. If we talk about the Taxila, if we talk about the Taxila University in the previous times, in the ancient Indian age. It was credited to be the world's first university situated at the ancient site of Taxila. Right? It is in modern day Punjab province of Pakistan. So basically it is in today's time, if we talk about Taxila, Taxila is in modern day Rawalpindi, and Rawalpindi comes under Pakistan, right? So even if it was an ancient institution, right, India was not independent and it was not really divided, and the partition did not happen at that point of time. Hence, the university was in the Indian subcontinent, if we talk about in its entirety. But now, because of the division and the partition that we have, the Taxila University has been moved to what? The Pakistan. It flourished from 600 BC to 500 AD. This is just the timing, that from how long it has been flourishing. What were the subjects which were being taught? Grammar, philosophy, medicine, politics, warfare, astronomy, commerce, etc. and Vedas even. So if you talk about, and even Buddhism was something which was taught in the Taxila University. So these are the minor, list of subjects which were being taught from those times in the university. More than 10,500 students from all over the world studied here, right? There were many Chinese scholars who were coming here to get education right? So basically this was also the university which was dealing with these many subjects, with these many students at that point of time. Just imagine that yes, higher education had its impact in that time as well. The age eligibility criteria was set at 16 years, that you need to be 16 years of age after students had completed their basic education in their local institutions. So basically, if you want to pursue higher education, you are supposed to be 16 years of age if you talk about the times when Taxila University was there. Renowned teachers of this university includes Kautilya. Kautilya is another name he has is Chanakya. Right? So Chanakya's book, right, was Arthashastra, which was also really prominent, correct? Kautilya, Panini's, right, Ashtadhyayi, Jeevak and Vishnu Sharma, these were certain prominent scholars in that very university. Arthashastra, the text on administration and statecraft by Kautilya, was written here where? In Taxila. India's first emperor Chandragupta Maurya was a student of Taxila University, and Chandragupta Maurya was a student of whom? He was a student of Kautilya as well, Chanakya as well, right? So this was just basic information related to the historical part, but yes, if we talk about the eligibility criteria in the higher education field, it was set up to 16 years of age. Then we have Kothari Commission had recommended a certain percentage of national income to be invested in education at that point of time when it was established, right? When this committee or commission was there. What was that percentage? The answer to this question is option C, which says 6% of the national income should be invested in education, right? So let's just see. Kothari Commission, first of all, was from 1964 to 66, also known as Indian or National Education Commission. In 1964, it recommended a 6% allocation of GDP, right? A policy recommendation endorsed by National Policy of Education. 2 decades later in 1986. So 1986 NEP, whosoever which was there, the policy which was established in 1986 for the national education part, it said the same thing which Kothari has mentioned earlier, right? In 64s and 66s, right? It was set up under the chairmanship of Daulat Singh Kothari, hence the name Kothari Commission, correct? To examine all aspects of education sectors in India, to produce appropriate strategies and guidelines for the upliftment of education. So basically, if they are talking about all educational sectors, they are supposed to see if the educational sectors are improving and how, if we are going to improve them, what guidelines are we supposed to follow. The policy recommended by the Kothari Commission related to language is a 3-language formula. Very important point, right? So if you talk about the Kothari Commission, which was established there in 1964, 1966, there was also this 3-language formula. And yes, they can ask questions, and they have been asking questions about the 3-language formula, that which committee or commission was there which gave the 3-language formula. It was Kothari Commission. So what was it? The first language. It has to be studied and must be the mother tongue or the regional language. For instance, I have my mother tongue as Punjabi, right? So every student who will be getting education, first language should be given the priority. For instance, in my case, Punjabi should be something that I should be knowing, correct? If we talk about the second language, in Hindi speaking states, the second language will be English or some other modern India language, right? Which will be, there for the vocational parts as well. In non-Hindi speaking states, for instance, we have Tamil Nadu, Kerala, etc. The second language will be Hindi or English, correct? The third language is taught at a later stage in school, and that too for a shorter time. Right? So any language which could be prominent according to the schools should be taught as the third language after the after the shorter span of time, for a shorter span of time, at the later stage, right? As it is needed only in limited context. For example, in a social situation where neither first nor second language could help the child to communicate. For example, if a person is, in non-Hindi in Hindi speaking states, sorry, he will be the one who will be having the second language as English, right? And the first language is the mother tongue. The third language will be something which will be according to the social context, that if you are going somewhere, right, how are you supposed to communicate and in what language? So minor things for a shorter span of time according to the context will be taught, and this was a 3-language formula which was given by the Kothari Commission. Then we have, as per the National Skills Qualification Framework, an undergraduate B vocational degree program requires completion of how many credits? And yes, because of the fact that vocational education and value education and environmental education have been now, gaining prominence in the field of higher education, questions have been asked, right? So the answer to this question is option D, which says 180 credits should be for the B vocational degree, that is bachelor's in vocational degree, correct? So bachelor's of vocation is a recognized graduation degree in India, after which students are not considered freshers like other graduates. So for instance, if a person has done bachelor's in vocation, right, bachelor's of vocation, he will be considered as an experienced person, and that comes under what framework? That comes under the National Skills Qualification Framework. Because the skills are taught, hence the students have known those very things by earning a degree and gaining an experience, right? They have a good scope in both private and government colleges. So this is the NSQF level 4, 5, 6, 7, and these are the skill component credits, that if a person is gaining skills in something, for instance a chef or an artist or a fine artist or an architecturer, right, anything which is related to the skills part, skill set, these are the levels and these are the credits for one semester. So if a person has studied one thing for one semester, then 60 credits will be awarded and certificate will be provided. That course will be certified as a certificate course. If it is a 2-semester course, then 60 credits will be provided along with the diploma. So from certificate, 2 semesters, if you do the skill set component, right, what are you going to get as a degree? Degree of diploma. If you do 4 semesters, you are going to get the credits of 120 along with advanced diploma, right? So these are the basic, degrees or awards which are provided to you. And if you complete the 6th semester, so from 1st semester to the 6th semester, if you are there for the degree in its entirety, what are you going to get? You are going to get 180 credits and you are going to get a B vocational degree, correct? So also the curriculum in each of the years of the program would be suitable mix of general education and skill development components. So yes, general education will be provided, but as it is a BA vocational, B vocational program, so 40% of credits will be for general education, but majority, that is the 60% of the total credits, will be for the skill set or the vocational education part, vocational education or skill set components, correct? So 60 by 40 it will be divided, 60% and 40%, where 40 will be the general education and 60 will be what? 60 will be the skill set. Correct? So the majority thing that you get a hands-on practice in the skills or the vocational part. Therefore, as per National Skills Qualification Framework, NSQF, the undergraduate B vocational degree program requires the completion of 180 credits, correct? So if you want to, you can jot down these things. These are not really important. You can jot down first of all the levels and then the total credits. If you get 30 credits, it means that you have done one semester and you are going to get certificate, diploma, advanced diploma and the B vocational degree, so on and so forth. So you can screenshot this and or maybe pause the videos and make your own notes, right? Because more than screenshotting it, it's better to jot it somewhere down where it will be helpful. Next question is MOE, Government of India initiative, E-ShodhSindhu provides students and researchers with the access to what? It provides the access to option B, that is e-journals. E-ShodhSindhu. The MOE, that is Ministry of Education, Government of India, has formed this very E-ShodhSindhu by merging 3 consortia, right? Namely, UGC InfoNet Digital Library Consortium, number 1. NList is number 2. And Indest AICT Consortium is number 3. So, it is an amalgamation. E-ShodhSindhu is an amalgamation of these 3 consortia initiatives which are there. The major aims and objectives are setting up E-ShodhSindhu, Consortia for Higher Education. That means that e-resources will be provided to students by augmenting and strengthening activities and services offered by the 3 MOE funded consortia. So, these are the MOE funded consortia that we have talked about, right? The UGC InfoNet, NList and Indest. These 3 will be the ones which will be augmenting and strengthening the programs and the courses which are required, right? And if we talk about the programs and courses, here I am talking about the e-books which are, or the journals which are related to those very things. To develop a formidable collection of e-journals, books, e-journals, archives on a perpetual basis, right? So, collection of e-books, e-journals, e-articles, etc. should be done by whom? Because it is a website where the researchers or the students even are going to get access to multiple research papers. Hence, it should be, visited time and again, and revisions should be made by these very things. To monitor and promote e-resources to member universities, colleges and etc. So, as I have, I have this very thing that in certain universities, JSTOR access is provided for free in some universities, right? So, what they do, the student who is enrolled in the, university and he or she is doing the research, the access is provided to them because of the college Wi-Fi, the campus connectivity Wi-Fi, right? So, because of that, they are going to gain access to multiple resources. This is the same aim which monitoring, which E-ShodhSindhu also has, that monitor and promote e-resources, that rather than buying hard copies, etc. also, you can see that you are going to get multiple e-resources on the same topic, and you can, read and then acquire information and knowledge. Provide access to subscription-based scholarly information, that is e-books and e-journals, to educational institutions, as I gave you the example of JSTOR, correct? To bridge the digital divide and move towards an information-rich society. Digital divide here means that yes, the people who have access to education through the e-resources, and the people or the digital resources, and the others who do not even have access to internet. So, to bridge the gap between these very digital divides is what is the main focus or the objective of E-ShodhSindhu. Provide access to scholarly content in open access as well, which means that it should be free of cost as well. Take up additional activities and services that require a collaborative platform and are not being performed by existing consortia. So, anything which these 3 institutions, these 3 consortia are not including, those things or those e-resources should also be included. Moving towards developing a national electronic library with e-journals and e-books as its major building blocks. So, basically to create a library which is electronic in nature, from where the students can gain access to books, correct? And those books which are e-books in nature, correct? Hence, this is an initiative. E-ShodhSindhu provides e-journals or e-books, etc. Any kind of electronic resources which are there. Next question, which of the following modality of higher education is an example of evolution in the post-independence India, right? So, you are supposed to read the question carefully and then answer. The answer to this question is option D, that says that distance education is something which is related to the evolution in the post-independence India, that higher education was evolving, it was developing, and it was developing because of the distance education as well. How? Let's just see. Distance education, for instance, if I cannot go, if I want you to all to know that what is distance education, it basically is, if the word even says distance education, that I am not physically going to the place from where I am going to get the education, right? But I still am gaining access to resources. I am giving assignments, I am giving tests, so on and so forth. So, basically you are getting educated at your own pace, right, at your own times and convenience, but yes, you are gaining education to get a degree and to acquire certain kind of knowledge, but according to your own ways, right? So, yes, it does have its own pros and cons as well. And of course you are supposed to send certain assignments when the institution where you are enrolled for the distance education asks you to, right? So it is not wholly flexible. The learning thing is wholly flexible for you, but the test and the assessment thing is not. The reason behind introducing correspondence education in India was provided by the then education minister Shri K.L. Shrimali, right? So K.L. Shrimali was the one who introduced this very thing, that yes, even before, even not even going to college can help a student to earn a degree where he or she wants to learn, yes, of course, and they want to gain certain kind of knowledge. To provide a less expensive, so if you are not even going to your college, of course, you are not using certain resources. Those were in that in that very manner, your money is, saved basically. So it is less expensive, yet efficient, because of the fact the quality of education which is provided to the students who are coming to the classes and to the students who are not coming to the classes is the same. The notes and etc., the books etc., they all are same, hence efficient system is also there. To offer educational opportunities to the less fortunate who cannot even go to colleges and universities, right? This was also a major, chunk which was to be focused when it came to the distance or the correspondence courses which were there. To offer educated Indians academic paths for improvement, that if they want to improvise a certain thing, they can do, right? Even with working, they can get enrolled in a course and earn a degree. So bifurcate these very things, right? Alternative education, correspondence or distance education, these are one and the same thing, had been a top priority of the government, which is noticed from the onset of the 5-year plans. So since the 5-year plans have been established, this was one thing which has been taken into consideration by the government. The first 5-year plan provided for private study with the help of correspondence courses and radio talks offered by universities. So yes, it was covering certain things which were required by the students, right, for the students' education, for the higher education part. And how were they being provided? They were provided by the correspondence courses, radio talks. So education was being, if we talk about the first 5-year plan, the education was given or imparted through the radio talks as well, right? Then it was during the third 5-year plan, which was from 1960 to 65, that the country saw a boom in the demand for higher education, which the traditional universities failed. So basically the traditional universities were not turning out to be good for students, and correspondence courses on the other hand were taking a upper hand, right? The government was finding it hard to deal with the crisis which was there because of the stagnant economy, and hence considered the widening of non-formal education in order to meet the national demand for democratic form of education. So basically, if we see the entire thing which we have here written, it just means that yes, because of the stagnant economy in the 3rd-year plan's age, that was 60 to 65, 1960 to 65, era, the economy was not booming. Hence, students were not getting enrolled in the colleges or the institutions because they were, highly demanding for a certain kind of fees, right? So that time, at that point of time, to even gain education, correspondence courses took a boom, correct? So it was the distance education which was there. The education imported through institutions of higher learning in India, such as Sanskrit Vidyapeeth. Read this carefully. Sanskrit Vidyapeeth is an example of what? The answer to this question is, it is an example of Oriental learning programs, that is option C, correct? So basically, what are Oriental learning programs? Let's see. Oriental studies basically deal with Indological studies, which means anything which is related to the study of Indian history, literature, philosophy and culture. So Indology means anything which is related to India, the history, the culture, the heritage, etc. Correct? The institutes are devoted in reviving and preserving the knowledge and wisdom of the country. So basically, if we talk about the Vedas, in which language they were written? They were written in the Sanskrit language. And if we talk about in today's time, Sanskrit is, a little bit neglected from the English or the Hindi backgrounds, right? So the main education, from where the education in India started, the main language from where the education started, and the main epics etc. were being written, that main language has been long forgotten. So to revive the cultural heritage and past of India, this Vidyapeeth is established, and any Vidyapeeth, anything, any educational institution which is established to revive the long lost heritage of India, for if be it because of the culture, be it because of the language, etc., it is known as the Oriental Learning Program. Collection and study of rare Sanskrit and Prakrit manuscripts dealing with religion, philosophy, grammar, sciences, literature, etc. is an example of this very thing. Sanskrit Vidyapeeth is an example of this type of institution because of the fact that Sanskrit is being taught. The language which has not been, given that much importance in today's time, that thing is also, gaining this very thing, this very, independence for the institutional part. Now we have two things here. We talked about the conventional, we talked about the Oriental part. Right? If we talk about the conventional learning programs and if we talk about the non-conventional learning programs, conventional learning programs, as the name suggests, are something which are traditionally there, right? So any teacher teaching with a board, pen, paper, chalk, etc. in the classroom, just delivering lectures and going, that is a traditional thing, that is a conventional thing. Central universities, state universities, etc. are some examples of conventional learning institutions where the lectures usually take place, that the students have to go, right? They have to be present in the class to have the education. That is conventional, that is a traditional, right? From the Vedas, etc. the students, Vedic education part, the students had to be present in the class, right? Then the teacher used to deliver the lecture. Non-conventional learning programs, on the other hand, are distance learning, because we, in the previous class as well, we were talking about, previous slide as well, we are talking about, right, the distance education, how it has been there, right? So distance education is different from the conventional education because of the fact that you need not go there physically. Open education, online learning, etc. are the examples of it. Even if we talk about, let's just see the Oriental programs which are there, they are because of the fact to regain the heritage. Now you understand the differentiation between conventional, non-conventional and Oriental programs. I hope you all do. Next is UGC portal E-SARTS is for what? The answer to this question is option D, that is, it stands for Scholarship Fellowship Award Registration Tracking System. Correct? So this is the full form. Note it down wherever you are noting or making the notes from these very videos. Provides details of a single window platform for all fellowships available to students, scholars and faculties under the various schemes of the University Grants Commission. So any schemes which are there under UGC, any fellowships or scholarships which are available, they will be available in what thing? In the portal E-SARTS. You can see it here. The scheme's various features and functionalities of the E-SARTS platform, the methodology involved, and the role of InflibNet Center, and a brief write-up on each of the 13 scholarships, etc. that are covered under E-SARTS. So everything will be provided under this very platform if you talk about anything which are related to scholarships or fellowships. Correct? The main aim is to reach out to eligible students who legit are in the need of getting a scholarship, are in the need of getting a fellowship, right? Who can benefit from these very schemes. Not even the students, the scholars and the faculties also who want to pursue their PhDs, or even who have pursued their PhD but still want to have a fellowship, correct, and gain certain more experience. It is a web-based, user-friendly, graphical user interface. That it means that it is a very friendly interface to use it. Anyone can use it easily, right? Tracking that facilitate applicants to apply online. So you can apply for the scholarships online and track the status of their application, that is it accepted, is it pending, is it still in the process, etc. The interface provides all necessary information for individual schemes, including what scheme is there, what is the eligibility of a particular scheme for you to apply for a scholarship or a fellowship, right? Amount of scholarship, fellowship, that what amount they are, giving you for this very thing. The link for registration, the result, download, etc. and the current statutes of the application, etc. All the things are provided under one platform. So you see that even if you want to apply somewhere or the other at some point of time in your life for a scholarship, you know where to go. Correct? Then we have an institution in the field of higher education desirous of getting the status of deemed to be university has to fulfill the following criteria. So first of all, pause your screens and read this very thing, right? And then move out to the options which we have here. So all in all, the answer to this question is option B, which says B, C and D only. The criteria of NAC CGPA to be 3.26, figures in the top of 100 ranks of NIRF, right, in the overall category. So NIRF has the ranking of overall category, right, technical institutions, IITs, etc. Correct? And B, C and D. This was the answer. Correct? B, C, D, teacher-student ratio in the institution is at least 1 to every 15 students. So one teacher should be teaching at least to 15 students in the deemed to be university. Correct? So this is the criteria. So it is in accordance with section 3 of the UGC Act. So this is an important piece of information they can ask. For an institution to be called or to be eligible to be deemed to be university, there are following criteria which are there. Accredited with the highest grade by NAC or by NBA continuously for 2 cycles, right? So for 2 continuous cycles, the gradings or the accreditation should be there on the topmost part, right? In the case of NBA, such accreditation should be for all its eligible courses and not just related to one thing, correct? Or the institution should have the highest NAC category at the time of application and in the immediately previous NAC. So previous and the present cycle will be counted, correct? Top 20 in any specific category, right? Or in the top 100 of the overall ranking of NIRF. So these are OR statements. So NAAC NAC could also be there, NBA could also be there, or for the NIRF, if it is in the top 100 institutions in the overall category of NIRF, then it can be eligible for the deemed to be university, to be called the deemed to be university. So coming to NAC CGPA, so NAC CGPA is measured out of 4. So out of 4, any university who needs to be called a deemed to be university, they are supposed to at least get 3.26 out of 4, correct? According to the new rule, all deemed and autonomous colleges must have a student faculty ratio of 15 to 1. But government colleges, right, should be having the ratio of 20 to 1. So this is an important piece of information which was not provided in the question. So 15 to 1 in all the deemed and autonomous colleges, but in the government colleges it is 20 to 1. Next question that I have for you is, a de novo institution is characterized by what? The answer to this question is option B, that is focus on teaching and research in unique and emerging areas of knowledge. So basically any institution, any autonomous institution, let's just read it from here as well. De novo institution means an institution devoted to innovations, correct, in teaching and research. So basically any field which has been not yet explored in the teaching and research part, any institution which turns to do that, right, devoted to innovate anything which is related to those very fields, right, that is known as a de novo institution. Emerging area of knowledge in the context of de novo institutions means such area of knowledge as may be notified from time to time, which, just as if I simply put in my terms, anything which has not been brought to the table yet. And if a de novo institution says that yes, this is an emerging field of knowledge which is there, on which no institution has yet done any kind of research or teaching, I am going to do it, that is known as a de novo institution, correct? The principal responsibilities of the academic council in a university include what? So pause your screens because it is a larger, lengthier question which is there. So you can see and then choose from the options again. The answer to this question is option A, which means that we have A and B as the correct answer. Let's just read what do we have in A. In A, we have maintenance of quality and standards of academic programs. This is the responsibility of the academic council. B is planning, coordinating, development, oversight and review of academic programs of the university. So these are the two major responsibilities. Primary responsibilities of what? The academic council of any university, on any concerned university, right? So let's just read it from here. Academic council is the principal academic authority of the university. All decision, and it is the executive. The vice chancellor is the executive head here in the university, head of the academic council, correct? Academic standards, creation of new departments, etc. are within the purview of the academic council, that if it wants to introduce new syllabus, introduce new departments, that all will come under the academic council. Principal responsibilities are maintenance of quality and standards of academic programs. So this was there in the question. So yes, we have answered it correctly. The second primary responsibility was what we have read in the question already. That planning, coordination, development, oversight, review of academic programs of the university. This is also one such primary responsibility of the academic council of any university. Secondary responsibilities on the other hand are laying down the essential qualifications for the recruitment of various disciplines. These are secondary responsibilities, not the main responsibilities, right? So mind you, when you are making notes, write primary, the major or the important responsibility, and then the secondary ones. Framing and revising or updating the contents of courses of various academic programs, that yes, if you want to make changes in any kind of syllabus, you can do that, right? Second, but that comes under the secondary responsibility. Approval of fee structure for various academic programs is also, which is something which is related to the secondary, I tell you again, the secondary responsibility of the academic council. So students, this is all what we had in today's video when it comes to the higher education part. We will be moving forward with certain new concepts in the new videos along with the important PYQs which are yet to be done or covered by us. I will see you again. Till the time, you keep on studying, keep on smiling. Thank you so much. Have a good day.